Poised for Exit is a show for business owners who want to achieve a successful exit based on their own terms. Your business exit will likely be the biggest financial transaction of your life, and for most, you'll have one shot at doing it right. The topics and guests we feature and the stories they share will provide valuable ideas and strategies to improve operations and grow enterprise value so you can achieve the best possible exit outcome. Now here's your host, award-winning certified exit planning advisor, Julie Keys.
Welcome everybody to Poised for Exit, the exit planning podcast show. I'm Julie Keys. I'm your host and founder of the Poised for Exit show. And I'm here to deliver an episode that I try to do every year with the audience of this show to kind of recap a little bit of 2025 and talk about 2026, along with maybe a little bit of information about the show that you didn't know. But first, let's hear from our show sponsors.
This is Andy Kosamba, president of Calhoun Companies. We understand that selling your business is a big deal. Since 1908, Calhoun Companies has been confidently connecting buyers and sellers. From small family shops to large corporations, our expert brokers walk with you and guide you every step of the way, whether you're looking to retire or simply for a fresh start. If you're curious what your business could sell for, or if you're ready to start the process, head to calhouncompanies.com for a free and confidential consultation. Calhoun Companies, the confident choice for buyers and sellers.
My name is Todd Crow, and I'm the president of the Twin Cities Exit Planning Chapter. If you're a business owner and advisor and want to learn more about the world of exit planning, you're invited to visit the Twin Cities chapter of the Exit Planning Institute. You can expect top-level education delivered by subject matter experts at every monthly meeting. Grow your network and draw from the learning that could be a game changer for your business or your practice. There's no pressure to become a member, so come and see what the buzz is all about. Our meetings are held the second Wednesday of the month, 7:30 to 9 a.m. See the show notes for more information and registration links.
Exiting your business is a big deal, both financially and emotionally. I'm John Marquet, Certified Exit Planning Advisor with TrustPoint. We help business owners transition smoothly on their terms. Our focus is on maximizing value, minimizing stress, and giving you confidence in what's next. Whether you're selling or passing the torch, we make the process seamless. Start planning today at trustpointinc.com. That's trustpointinc.com.
Thinking about selling your business in the next few years? Don't wait to start planning. I've seen too many business owners wait too long and regret it. Freedom Financial Partners are financial advisors who specialize in exit planning for business owners, helping you reduce tax surprises, protect what you've built, and quantify how much you need from the sale. Their proven process helps you think beyond your business so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. The longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. Download your free financial readiness assessment today at ffpforme.com/exit. That's ffpforme.com/exit. First of all, I just want to give you some information about how this show actually started for those of you who didn't know. I launched this show in June of 2020. It was shortly after COVID started, as you probably recall. And I had finished the first edition of my book called Poised for Exit, and it was slated for a launch. I had all kinds of speaking engagements scheduled. I had a launch party scheduled, and all of that got canceled, right? And so it's like, all right, well, what am I going to do? I had to pivot, just like so many of you, and decided to accelerate the launch of the podcast, which was going to be the following year as that major initiative, and push it up to 2020. So we did that. And we launched in June of 2020. Please don't listen to that episode. I'm sure it's nasty. Let's just say we've come a long way. But anyway, it's been so much fun. We've really earned some notable recognition in addition to some really awesome comments, new client engagements, sponsorship engagements over the last 5.5 years. Top 100 Business Podcasts, we acquired that a couple years ago. We air our show every week on a local radio station called KRWC, and that's been going on since 2022. So many thanks to KRWC for airing our episodes. We hope that your listeners are learning all kinds of good information about how to the best possible exit outcomes. And we are nearing our 300th episode. The statistic that I did not realize was that only 5% of podcasts actually achieve 100 episodes or more, and we're nearing 300. So a big, big thank you. We couldn't have done this without our listeners. It really is heartfelt for me to have so many loyal followers, really continuing to listen to the show, share the show from all over the world. We believe the content has immense value for the business owners and advisors who listen to this show. If it didn't, then we wouldn't still be around, right? So we ask that you continue to share these episodes and pay tribute to our sponsors by doing business with them. I'm just going to say that the guests and the sponsors that I get involved in this show, I'm very choosy about. So I don't just ask anybody who can write a check. I actually want firms that sponsor this show who have the same values and the same drive for the best outcomes for their clients, as well as the guests and being on the show and making sure that their content that they're going to deliver is sound. And so you can count on that for 2026. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing in 2026. We've got a really great lineup of business owners and advisors from various subject matter areas of expertise. We're going to be featuring some outside of the box types of advice on how best to position your company for a successful sale, how best to work with business owners if you're an advisor. Like I said, I've got some very reputable subject matter experts that are going to be coming on the show from across the globe, as well as some very interesting and inspiring entrepreneurs who are going to be on the show to share their stories of success, but also their stories of exit and lessons that they've learned. And I think that sharing those kinds of stories is really the best way for us as human beings to learn and to maybe not make the same mistakes or emulate, right? We hear our own story many times reflected in the stories of other people, and that's what makes them most memorable. And if they're memorable, we actually learn from them, which is why I always have my guests share stories, either client stories or their own exit stories. We are also going to be talking about here in this particular episode just a little bit about how to grow value in a business. And the reason for that is because I get this question a lot. It comes up often, not only from business owners, but also from the advisors who work with them. How can my clients grow the value of their business? What are some of the best ways to grow value? And clients will say the same thing. And of course, that's part of the work I do, right? Is to grow enterprise value while we're preparing for an exit. And whether the exit is going to be full or partial doesn't matter. We're all interested in how to grow the value of our companies. And I'm going to use a learning objective from the CEPA program, the Certified Exit Planning Advisor program, of which, of course, 10 years now that I've been a CEPA myself. I'm on the Thought Leadership Council, as many of you know, and I'm also still on the faculty, proudly. So love the people and advisors that I've met through the Exit Planning Institute over the years, learned so much from them. And I want to just spend a little bit of time talking about the 4 intangible capitals, because I really do believe as an advisor that that's where the value of a business lies. It's not in the tangibles, it's in the intangibles, although the bank likes to lend on the tangibles, right? So what are the tangibles? Well, obviously your real estate, your building, your equipment, your inventory, the things you can touch and feel. The intangibles are the things that really drive value, like 70 to 80% of a company's value is in the intangible capitals, which are human capital, structural capital, customer capital, and social capital. How do we break that down, and how do we grow value in those 4 intangible capitals? Well, for human capital, of course, we're talking about your people, the people who work for you, your leaders, your managers, your long-term employees, and people who do the work every single day. You wouldn't be where you are without them, right? How do you build the culture of the company to grow your human capital and retain the best and brightest? How do you hire the best and brightest? How do you keep the best and brightest happy? There are a lot of different ways to do that, authentically speaking. And I think it starts with improving your culture if you feel like that's where you really need to grow for, human capital expansion, if you will. Okay. There's a lot more for me to say on that, but I'm touching on it now because I think that as I talk about these, if you're a business owner, The ones that you feel like you really need to spend time on in the new year are going to resonate with you without me going into a long dissertation. If you want more information on this, if you want to talk about it, you know how to get a hold of me. We can talk about what that looks like if you wanted to work together. Okay. Structural capital, super important, means a lot of things, but it's structural. What's the foundation of the company? What kind of processes and systems do you have? And how do they integrate? Are there gaps and overlaps in information? Do we do things manually? Are we using technology to the best of our ability? How are we adopting AI? Should we adopt AI? And if we did, our systems and our processes and the way that we do business buttoned up enough for us to actually apply it and have it work, right? So part of an AI blueprint means, where do we want to apply it? And then how can it best serve our company in efficiency, productivity, and thought leadership? So those are some questions to ask yourself, which is a whole nother episode and more, okay? But again, processes, equipment, the buildings you operate out of, your inventory, all of those are structural. And that kind of capital is super important. How turnkey is your business? If someone came in and wanted to buy and operate it, would they be able to without your help? If the answer is no, then you have some work to do. How about customer and client capital? How loyal are your customers and your clients? How much more do you actually have the capability to sell them? It's not like rocket science, right? To want to sell to the people who know us and like us and trust us the most. And those people are our customers and clients. And are we serving them in the best possible way? And do we have the capability to sell them more? Not just for our own benefit, for the company, but for the client and customer's benefit. There could be situations where we could be helping them in a certain way and we're not. And maybe is there a liability there? I don't know. But let's take a look at that, because horizontal growth is really the low-hanging fruit when it comes to expanding revenue, expanding customer-client relationships, and increasing the stickiness of those relationships. It's been said that if we can sell at least 3 things to a customer or client, that they'll stay with us or have more likelihood of staying with us. And we want to increase that loyalty. We want to do the best that we possibly can for them, just like we expect our advisors and our vendors to do for us, right? Okay, how about social capital? What does your competition say about you? What does your brand message say? And is it consistent across the board, across platforms, across your website, your social media, the wraps that you have on your trucks? Are the logos the same? Are the websites the same? You'd be surprised at how much inconsistency I see out there. And you don't want people to get lost when they're trying to find you, right? You also don't want them to be confused about what you're trying to sell and who you are. So make sure that your brand is consistent, your messaging is consistent, that because it does affect your reputation. And it also affects the folks on the outside, maybe it's a buyer, who that would really be their first look, right? Your website, what you say and do out in the world, that's like their first impression of you. And if you own a business that you're considering transitioning soon, you want to make sure that foot forward is as clear and consistent and on top of what you do, right, as possible. Make a good impression. Very important. You know what? You could even do a little bit of research and see what Google has to say about you. Do some research from somebody else's computer, not your own. ChatGPT, what do they say about you? Do they have anything on you? Is it good? Right? So maybe we can make some improvements there. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time too, just talking about our 2026 sponsors. We have some that are returning and we have some new ones, and I'm super excited about all of them. Like I said before, the companies that I align with, that I recommend for my listeners and my colleagues, are going to be the best of the best. Okay. So if they're advertising on this show, you can put your tub out because it's going to rain, right? You can believe me. That's an old Zig Ziglar statement, by the way, if anybody knows who he is. But yeah, anyway, they're great. They're solid gold. And like I said, I wouldn't work with them if they weren't reputable and if they didn't align with the kind of values and philosophy that I try to imbue. So we're going to start with TrustPoint. They've been with us a long time. Super appreciate that company and the advisors who work for them. They really are one of the most client-centric firms that I've ever encountered. They specialize in trusts, estate, wealth planning, family office, business services, 401k, nonprofit work, and they operate in Minnesota and Wisconsin. They're privately held. They've been around over 100 years. So you don't have to worry about them being fly by night. And they've got a long-standing history of fiduciary standard that serves as their guide. TrustPoint's experienced professionals help you establish plans to achieve your goals and always with your best interests in mind. And I would underline that. For the second year, we also have the Twin Cities chapter of the Exit Planning Institute coming back to sponsor the show. As many of you know, I launched the chapter with the help of a couple of other SEPAs who are still with us in the Twin Cities here, Diane Ross Hansen being one of them. We launched in 2016, so 11 years ago. Well, wait, no, do the math, Julie. Almost 10. Hello. Almost 10 years ago, we launched the EPI chapter, and it's still going strong, thankfully. And the purpose of the chapter, let me just read it to you because I used to read it before every single meeting when I was the chapter president. Purpose of the EPI Twin Cities chapter is to create a forum where the local community of professional advisors can collaborate to address unique needs of the local community, develop educational programs for business owners and professional advisors to build awareness and better prepare an owner for the successful exit of their business, develop, encourage, and foster the best practices of exit planning in the profession, and promote the common business interests of those advisors engaged in the profession of exit planning. That is the purpose of the chapter. If you're a business owner or an advisor, you are very welcome to attend any meeting. We meet once a month at Helmuth & Johnson Law Firm in Edina. There'll be more information in the show notes and in LinkedIn. If you want more information, you're always welcome to join us for a meeting. We also have John A. Knutson, CPAs, coming back for their fourth year and sponsoring the Poised for Exit podcast. JAK, as we like to call them, is a fantastic accounting firm. I've referred many clients there over the years. They've been around since 1925. It's a generational accounting firm, privately held, with clients across Minnesota and beyond. They're located in the Twin Cities and have roughly 60 accounting professionals, consultants, and support staff. They specialize in business consulting, tax, audit, and accounting services, and M&A, of course. So I'm happy to have them back. Wonderful accounting firm. Freedom Financial Partners is back for the second year. We're happy to have them returning as well. Super reputable, client-centric financial planning and advisory asset management firm with SEPAs, right? Certified Exit Planning Advisors who are also partners within the firm. So they really get the process. Happy to have them back as sponsors of the show. As their name says, the word partner is in their name, and they say that the best meetings happen when we help clients create positive life changes. This looks different for everyone, and at that moment where they show you how your dreams and finances come together, that really means something. The markets and rates of return are important, but so is financial independence and creating space for the life experiences that you want to have. And lastly, our newest sponsor is Calhoun Companies. Calhoun Companies has been around for more than 100 years. Calhoun Companies has served as matchmaker for buyers and sellers, allowing both to transition into the next phase of their lives. They focus on small to mid-sized businesses, helping them leverage their assets and realize their goals through business brokerage, commercial real estate, mergers and acquisitions, and business valuation services. So excited to have Calhoun Companies joining us this year. Thank you so much, Calhoun. We really appreciate your support in sponsoring the show. We appreciate all of our sponsors, past, present, and future. And we really honestly could not do the show without our sponsors or our guests. And so we just ask that you continue to support us, continue to listen to the show, share the episodes, support our sponsors, and join us in 2026 for some more fantastic content. Happy New Year.